I don't miss who you are today. I miss the future we planned. We used to talk about someday, like someday was guaranteed. A little house, a little dog, a life that looked like our dreams. We picked baby names for fun, standing in a grocery line. Funny how we built a whole forever and left it all behind. Nobody warns you, you can grieve things that never happened. The future we lost still lives in my mind. 1,000 little memories we never got to find. The future we lost still breaks my heart. Not because I miss you, but because I miss who we were before it fell apart. I drove past that neighborhood, the one we'd always talk about. The houses looked the same, but something felt different now. A little boy rode by on a bicycle, and for a second I could see a life that almost happened, looking back at me. Some dreams don't die, they just never get the chance to live. The future we lost still lives in my mind. 1,000 little memories we never got to find. The future we lost still breaks my heart. Not because I miss you, but because I miss who we were before it fell apart. The hardest part isn't moving on. The hardest part is knowing there's a version of my life I'll never get to know. The one where you stayed, the one where we made it, the one where forever actually happened. The future we lost still follows me home in quiet little moments when I'm alone. The future we lost was never real, but somehow it's the most real pain I've ever felt. The future we lost. The future we lost. I don't miss who you are today. I miss the future we planned. Nobody prepared me for this. Nobody told me it hurt like this. Nobody told me my parents would get older. The house I grew up in would somehow feel smaller. Nobody told me friends would disappear without a fight, without a reason, just over years. I thought I'd have more time. I think we all do. Nobody prepared me for this. Nobody told me it'd feel like this. One day you're young, next day you're missing people you thought would always exist. Nobody prepared me for this. Nobody warned me about goodbye, how some things end without a last time. Nobody prepared me for this. Nobody told me love could fade slowly, not with a broken heart, just quiet loneliness. Nobody told me the dreams come true and somehow you're still not happy the way you thought you'd be. Growing up feels different than I imagined. Nobody prepared me for this. Nobody told me it'd feel like this. One day you're young, next day you're missing people you thought would always exist. Nobody prepared me for this. Nobody warned me about goodbye, how some things end without a last time. Nobody prepared me for this. The hardest part isn't losing. The hardest part is knowing while it was happening you didn't know. Those were the days you'd miss forever. Nobody prepared me for this. Nobody told me it hurt like this. One day you're laughing, next day you're looking at old pictures, trying not to miss. Nobody prepared me for this, but maybe that's life. Learning too late what mattered the whole time. Nobody prepared me for this. Nobody prepared me for this. Maybe nobody could. I can't remember the last time you looked at me the same way. Somewhere between the good mornings and the words we stopped saying, you still sat beside me, still slept on your side of the bed. But lately every conversation felt like talking to someone else instead. The photos didn't show it, nobody else could see, but I noticed the distance growing quietly. And looking back now, I think I know the truth. We didn't end the day you left. We ended long before you moved. The hardest part wasn't losing you. The hardest part was watching you change, watching your eyes stop lighting up every time you heard my name. You were still here, but already gone. That's what broke me most, not the night you left, the day you changed. The day you changed. I remember that Sunday, driving home in the rain. You were staring out the window, funny how those three words can hide 1,000 goodbyes. And I knew something was different, even if I couldn't explain. 'Cause love doesn't disappear all at once. It fades like a song getting quieter until one day it's gone, and you're left wondering when it all went wrong. The hardest part wasn't losing you. The hardest part was watching you change, watching your eyes stop lighting up every time you heard my name. You were still here, but already gone. That's what broke me most, not the night you left, the day you changed. Oh, the day you changed. Oh, maybe that's why it hurts so much. There wasn't one big goodbye, just 1,000 little moments where I watched us slowly die. You showed a text, a colder touch, a silence where there used to be love. Nobody tells you that's how heartbreak begins, not with leaving but with giving up. The hardest part wasn't losing you. The hardest part was knowing first, feeling the distance growing wider while pretending it didn't hurt. You were still mine, at least on paper, but not in your heart. That's what broke me most, not the night you left, the day you changed. I still think about that version of you, the one who used to stay. Funny how I don't miss that goodbye. I miss the girl before the day you changed. You still blame yourself, maybe because I should. You weren't the only one. Then why does it feel like I lost everything? You keep drowning in your mistakes, because they're the only things that stayed. You keep replaying every goodbye, trying to find a way to change it. But some doors don't close all at once. They close one silence at a time. The car's parked outside the apartment we used to call ours. Rain on the windshield, your favorite song comes on by accident. I almost change it, then I let it play. Funny how memories always know exactly where to find you. I used to tell people we just grew apart. Truth is, you were fighting for us long after I stopped noticing. I remember that version of you, the one before the distance, the one before every conversation started feeling like work. I didn't leave because I stopped loving you. I left because loving you alone was breaking me. You keep carrying all the blame, because somebody has to. Maybe not, maybe we were both just too young to know how to save something that was already sinking. You keep drowning in your mistakes, because they're louder than your voice. You keep looking for the exact moment everything broke, but there wasn't one. It happened slowly, a missed call, a cold reply, 1,000 tiny wounds we call being busy. I
found your last voicemail tonight. You weren't angry, you weren't crying, you just sounded tired. And somehow that hurt more than anything, because for the first time I heard it the moment you stopped asking me to be better.
I was exhausted, not from loving you, from hoping you'd notice I was hurting. There's a difference, and I don't think you understood it then.
I do now, that's the problem. I understand everything now.
Too late.
Yeah, too late. Everybody talks about heartbreak like somebody leaves overnight. Nah, people leave in pieces, one disappointment at a time. One ignored text, one canceled plan, one I'm tired,
one maybe tomorrow.
Until one day, the person sitting beside you
feels a million miles away.
And the saddest part,
neither of us meant to become strangers.
if you could go back,
what would you change?
not the ending, the little things, the nights I didn't listen, the tears I pretended not to see, the moments I thought we'd have forever.
I would've stayed longer.
Please don't say that.
Why?
Because you already stayed longer than you should have. We're drowning in our mistakes, not because we stopped caring,
because we waited too long to say what mattered.
we're drowning in our mistakes.
And maybe that's what love becomes.
Not a villain,
not a victim,
just two people looking back,
wishing they'd known then
what they know now.
I forgive you.
That's the one thing
I never learned how to do for myself.
maybe someday.
Maybe.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
I still park here sometimes,
Just to remember
who we used to be. I know.
I forgot your birthday. I thought I'd make it up next year. There wasn't the next year. You called me that morning. I said I was busy. You laughed and said that's okay, honey. I said I'd come by later after work was done. I didn't know that day would be the last one. Funny how we think there's always more time. The birthday I forgot is the one I can't move on from. One missed call, one late apology. Now it follows me. The birthday I forgot. I'd give anything to relive just one more cake, one more candle, one more hug. Now every year when that day comes around, the whole world keeps moving, but I slow down. I hear your voice inside my head saying it's okay, but it's not. The birthday I forgot is the one I can't move on from. One missed call, one late apology. Now it follows me. The birthday I forgot. I'd give anything to relive just one more cake, one more candle, one more hug. last forever. The birthday I forgot still breaks me every year. I'd trade every tomorrow just to have you here. One more smile, one more wish, one more photograph. The birthday I forgot became the memory I can't get back. I forgot your birthday. I never forgot it again. 1,000 people know my name. Nobody knows how my day went. Another post goes viral, another 100,000 views. Everybody's saying, man, I wish I lived like you. A blue check on my profile, a smile inside the frame. Funny how the world can know your face and still not know your pain. I answer every comment, I heart every reply, but nobody notices the nights I barely get by. The louder my life looks online, the quieter it gets inside. 1,000 followers, nobody to call, 1,000,000 people watching, but nobody at all. They know my photos, they know my songs, they know the version that gets along. 1,000 followers, and still I eat alone. Funny how being seen can feel nothing like being known. I hit another milestone, everyone celebrating me. So I sat there in my apartment with nobody to tell but me. I know people in every city, I know faces everywhere, but when life falls apart at midnight, there's nobody really there. I got really good at looking okay, maybe that's why nobody stays, 'cause everyone loves the highlight reel. Nobody asks how you're healing. 1,000 followers, nobody to call, 1,000,000 people watching, but nobody at all. They know my photos, they know my songs, they know the version that gets along. 1,000 followers, and still I eat alone. Funny how being seen can feel nothing like being known. The truth is I don't need more followers, I don't need more likes. I trade every notification for one real conversation tonight, 'cause attention isn't love, and numbers aren't connection, and being famous to strangers can still feel like rejection. Everybody knows my username. Nobody knows my story. 1,000 followers, but tonight I finally see the people who matter most were never on a screen. Maybe life's not measured by the numbers that appear, maybe it's measured by who's still there. 1,000 followers, but I'd rather have one friend
changed the wallpaper, packed up your things, stopped driving by your street, stopped wearing your ring. I told my friends I'm finally okay, but there's one thing I still can't throw away. Every now and then I scroll too far, and there you are, right where you always are. Your name in my phone feels heavier than it should. It's only a few letters, but it still hurts this good. I never call, I never text, I never cross that line, but your name in my phone still feels like mine. Your name in my phone, a memory I can't erase, 'cause deleting your number feels too much like replacing you. Someone asked about you the other day. I smiled and said you're doing great. The truth is I wouldn't know. I've spent so long trying not to know, but some nights get lonely and my hand forgets how many promises I've kept. I open your contact and close it again, like I've done 100 times since then. Love shouldn't cost your memory, love shouldn't erase your truth, but sometimes lonely hearts hold on to what they lose. The hardest part isn't missing you, the hardest part is knowing if you called tonight I'd still answer without thinking. Maybe that's how I know I'm not over us at all. Not because I want you back, because some part of me still lives inside that core. Now I'm rebuilding slowly, piece by piece at night, learning how to exist without needing your name for life. Your name in my phone. Maybe one day I'll let it go. Maybe one day I'll scroll past and not feel alone. Maybe healing isn't forgetting. Maybe healing is accepting the truth that some people leave, but never fully leave you. Your name in my phone still sitting where it's always been. Not because I'm waiting, just because I haven't learned how to say goodbye again. I deleted the pictures, I deleted the texts, but your name in my phone is the last thing left. I gave you all my colors till my world turned gray. Every little part of me slowly faded away. You became my religion, my reason to survive. And somewhere in the process I forgot my own life. Blue screen memories living inside my phone. 1,000 little pieces of a life I've outgrown. Every text says forever, every picture says stay. Funny how forever ended without either of us saying. Blue screen memories still lighting up the dark, and every time I find your name, it breaks my heart. To be the first one at the top of my screen. Good morning text, good night calls, and every little thing between. I became what you needed, soft enough not to fight, quiet enough not to leave, broken enough to stay. Saddest part of moving on is feeling more alone. Love shouldn't cost your history. Love shouldn't feel like proof. But sometimes lonely hearts stray themselves and lose their youth. Blue screen memories, but maybe that's okay. Maybe growing up means learning some things were never meant to stay. Maybe healing isn't deleting every trace of yesterday. Maybe healing is accepting that people change along the way. Blue screen memories still living in my phone, but I'm rebuilding slowly now, and I can face the dark alone. I'm still here somewhere underneath the damage. Mom still leaves the porch light on, even though I haven't come home in years. And somehow, that's the part that breaks me. I don't remember the day I left, I just remember the day I stopped coming home. One missed week and one missed birthday, one missed call, and suddenly a whole life was gone. Started with a job offer, a one-way bus ride out of town. Everybody said go chase your dreams, so I did. I thought success looked like skyscrapers, late nights, city lights, a better paycheck every year. Nobody told me it would cost this much. Mom still texts every Friday, drive safe if you're coming this weekend. I still type maybe next month, then stare at the message until it feels like a lie. Funny how forever can disappear so slow. You don't wake up one day and decide to let go. You just keep saying later until there isn't any later left. 'Cause the day I stopped coming home, nobody heard the crack. The calls got shorter, the years got faster, and somehow we never got that time back. I thought I was building a future, chasing all the flashing lights. Now I trade every dollar I've made for one more dinner table night. Yeah, I conquered the city, but somehow lost my home. Yeah, hey. Hey, Dad's hair turned silver, I didn't notice, not until the photo showed up on my phone. The dog we raised together got old and one day he was gone. The bedroom I grew up in still looks the same, except the trophies got dusty and nobody says my name. Mom still keeps my favorite mug above the kitchen sink, like maybe I'll walk through that door before she stops believing. Yeah, everybody talks about heartbreak, but nobody talks about this. Watching your parents grow old through pictures, missing birthdays, missing Christmas, missing ordinary moments you thought would always exist. Yeah, success is a strange thing. You spend your whole life climbing, then one day you look down and realize the people you love were never on the mountain. They were back home waiting. If I could go back, I wouldn't ask for more money, I wouldn't ask for more fame. I'd ask for one random Tuesday. Mom cooking in the kitchen, Dad asleep on the couch, the dog barking and nothing in me, not knowing how lucky I was. Cause the day I stopped coming home, nobody noticed the crack until family photos started having empty spaces where I should have been standing. I thought growing up meant leaving. Now I know growing up means realizing what was worth staying for. I trade every city skyline, every promotion, every dream I chase for one more drive down that street, one more porch light, one more hug before it's too late. Tonight, Mom probably checked the window, Dad probably locked the door, and the porch light is probably still on, just in case, just in case one day I come home. Please don't turn it off. It's funny. How some people leave, but never really go. 2 a.m. rain on the dashboard, city lights fading through the glass. Another red light, another memory, another reason I can't move past. Your coffee stain still on my old hoodie, your favorite song still knows my name. Everybody says time heals everything, so why does everything feel the same? I tell my friends I'm doing alright, got pretty good at pretending lately, but every night when the highway's empty, your memory finds its way to me. There's rain on the dashboard, tears I don't talk about, miles on the highway, but I still can't figure us out. I deleted your number, but I know it by heart. Funny how forever ended, but never really fell apart. There's rain on the dashboard and your shadow in every street light. No matter how far I drive, I still end up with you tonight. Yesterday I heard somebody laugh. For a second I thought it was you. Funny how a single sound can pull 1,000 memories through. I got the job we used to dream about, the apartment overlooking town, but success feels colder than I imagined when there's nobody waiting around. Everybody thinks I'm moving on, guess heartbreak hides itself pretty well. Nobody sees the war inside me or
all the stories I never tell. There's rain on the dashboard, tears I don't talk about, miles on the highway, but I still can't figure us out. I deleted your number, but I know it by heart. Funny how forever ended, but never really fell apart. There's rain on the dashboard and your shadow in every street light. No matter how far I drive, I still end up with you tonight. The saddest part isn't losing you, it's losing the future I built around you. We didn't lose each other, we lost the life we thought we'd live, and I think that's why it still hurts. There's rain on the dashboard, tears I don't talk about, years keep passing by, but some feelings never burn out. I deleted your number, but I know it by heart. Some people leave your life, but never leave your heart. There's rain on the dashboard, falling like the night we said goodbye. No matter how far I drive, you're still riding by my side. I forgot your number, but somehow my heart still remembers it. Fade out.